G'day guys, welcome back to the Hit Out, the solo edition of the pod. I do that, quite frankly, when I have huge scheduling issues and a complete inability to be able to book a guest for the show. I come out and do a solo episode. So yeah, just to clarify guys, at the end of the last Hit Out, I did recapping the Jai Opetaia, Brandon Glanton fight card, I guess we can talk about, that I spoke about then, excuse me. Yeah, I did say the plan was to have another 2 episodes this month, being March, with a different guest, so 2 more guest episodes this month. I tried my hardest. I tried. All good. The people I reached out to, I'm sure will be on in the future, but due to scheduling and just timing and stuff like that, I was unable to book anyone. So I'm back for another Hit Out. And yeah, to be frank, in the past, for people that have sort of followed the show for, you know, a little bit of time, when I've gone through long periods of not doing a pod, it's usually because I just have these runs of not being able to get anyone on. But this year, I want the year to be a consistent one. So look, if we have to have a month where I do 3 solo shows, not that I really love doing the solo ones too much, but I want to be consistent. So all I can control is my own consistency. So anyway, who cares? I'll stop being self-indulgent. But hopefully we have a bit better luck in April with some new guests on the show, which will be absolutely awesome and I can't wait for. But for now, you're stuck with me. So let's get into it, guys. So first of all, I watched the Detonation Boxing show live from the Melbourne Pavilion on Saturday night. And I have to admit, it was a great local show. Straight off the bat, because it was the Melbourne Pavilion, I was expecting it to be that black canvas, which just looks horrible on TV, and even worse on stream, depending on the resolution of whatever. You know, if you're watching on a computer, especially if you're watching on a phone, if you're watching on an iPad, if you can somehow figure out how to get it on your TV, I couldn't. I can never figure that stuff out. So I always find the black crowd, the dark robes, and a black canvas, it's such a bad contrast. It's just hard to see. It's hard to differentiate, and especially if guys have got black shorts and black shoes and black gloves on. It just makes it really difficult to see the action, see what's actually happening. So straight away, massive tick to Detonation Boxing. They had white ropes and the traditional sky blue canvas that has been commonplace in boxing for decades. I don't know why they moved away from the sky blue canvas to a black canvas, just in terms of color and art. And I actually know a guy who works in lighting for film and TV, and I was asking him specifically about this, and he goes, yeah, well, even though white is the most reflective color for light, he goes, what's probably happening is they've always gone with sky blue because it is a great reflector and it probably it's dark enough to cover up blood so it doesn't sort of stand out if it's on and sweat and, you know, whatever else, saliva and bloody, you know, bits of cartilage and stuff, whatever else is on that canvas at the end of fight night. So whether or not he's right, I'm not sure, but he's the lighting guy, and I know my eyes, and when it's a sky blue canvas, I can definitely see what's going on better, and your eyes don't have to strain. So massive tick for Detonation Boxing, changing up. The ring looked fantastic. It had their own logos on it. It was really professional. Now, the other thing, the pacing. We were all, and myself included, the first Zuffa show, and probably the overwhelming positive with Zuffa. And it has its downfalls, we can definitely say that, but we'll save that for another show, or maybe later in this one. But the main thing that we were praising Zuffa was their pacing. Excellent pacing. We didn't have to go to the desk between fights and talk to 15 rugby reporters and all this garbage. Just get the fights going. Mate, Detonation Boxing said, hey, Zuffa, hold my beer. It was the most elite pacing I've ever seen. Like, look, it was a local show, so I think at 2 points there were some auctions, but that gave you some time to get up and go to the toilet or whatever, especially if you're watching for home and in the venue too. You know, you need to get up and you don't want to miss the fights. But, man, they were pumping these fights out back to back to back. It was excellent. So massive shout out to that. Also on commentary was Mark the Hammer Castignini and mate of the show, Mike Altamura, who I thought you could obviously tell these guys had a great rapport. I'm sure they've known each other for decades at this point. It's the first time I've heard that pair together on commentary. I don't think I've ever heard Mike on commentary. I'm trying to think. Maybe I have. My memory is really bad. But anyway, it was a pleasant surprise. I thought they worked great as a team. It was a really slick operation. It's one of the better local shows I've ever seen, to be totally honest, in terms of production, in terms of the pacing, in terms of the way it was broadcast on any screen. You were able to watch it. The stream was completely glitch-free. It was fantastic. And the main thing, guys, all the fights were really good. Look, we know what we're going to get, especially at the beginning of a local show, but I like boxing at all levels. You know, you don't go in expecting the pro debuting 4-rounder to be a world champion in waiting. Guys have to learn on the job. And I think I watched every fight. Maybe I missed the first one or two. Every fight was excellent. It was very, very similar. And I mean this as a compliment. And this is probably the best compliment I could give the promotion and the broadcast and the show. It was very Wildfighter style. Like Wildfighter is an excellent local show, production, ring, broadcast, all that type of stuff. So in Victoria, I'm biased. I'm Victorian. In Melbourne, we've got two really good local shows now, in my opinion. Wildfighter sort of leading the way, and Detonation Boxing, fantastic. It was the first time I watched a full event of theirs. And if anyone sort of sees the next Detonation show pop up on their social media or something like that, and you're in two minds whether to watch it or not. I don't even know these guys. I've got no skin in the game. I'm not getting a kickback from this or anything like that. Just as a fan watching it, I could certainly vouch for it and recommend to you guys to click that button and give it a watch. You certainly won't regret it. It was a great show. A couple of performances, guys, I just wanted to quickly talk about. A guy that, look, let's just be real, his name just jumps off the screen, 3-0, Reef Gaylard. Again, the name sticks out, but my God, this guy is a warrior, dude. I haven't seen a young fighter with a commitment to the body over. I think it was a 6-round. No, it was a 5-rounder. Excuse me. We're starting to do 5-rounders in Victoria now, which I actually like. That's a good thing. Queensland started that, and I'm glad we've jumped on board. But yeah, definitely one to keep an eye on. Reef Gaylard. Super aggressive, going to the body with incredible determination, really fun, tough fighter to watch. Really enjoyed him. Thought it was a great performance. Bo Piggott was back after just coming up short in his Australian title challenge in only his second pro fight that he lost a split decision on. He was back switching stances. He won a unanimous decision over 6 rounds over Oliver Zynius, I believe is his name. And I apologize to Oliver for probably mispronouncing his last name, but I want to give a shout out to Oliver. This was a really good back and forth fight. These guys are both early in their career. Oliver Zynius had only had 2 fights. Zanius? I'm not sure. I apologize, Oliver. I'll call you Oliver Z. How's that? But he's only had 2 fights in his pro career too. But these guys, it was fantastic. And presentation matters, especially on these shows. Like, how many of us have gone to local shows and seen guys, walk out in a wife beater and be fighting in Dunlop volleys and all that type of thing? And look, it's cool when Isaiah Setti does it, when he fights in the Chuck Taylors. That's cool. But, we see guys in, shorts they've bought from Rebel Sport. And it is a bad look, So Bo Piggott and Oliver Z, I almost butchered his name again. Bo Piggott and Oliver Z, credit to them, man. They came out looking like $1 million, all kitted out, would have fit in on any world title undercard in terms of a presentation anywhere in the world. And it was actually a really high-quality fight. Obviously, we know the quality of Bo Piggott through his amateur career and his recent Australian title challenge. And Oliver Z, mate, geez, I can't wait to watch this guy again. He put in a fantastic account of himself, got dropped, looked like he was going to get stopped. After the stoppage, got back up and fought the whole fight out, man. Really impressive from both guys. So shout out to them. And that's great matchmaking too. So another tick for Detonation Boxing. Look, guys, I'll be totally honest. The reason I wanted to watch this whole card is because mate of the show, Kai Hodgson, the Hitman, was on, and he was in a fight with another recent Australian title challenger, Theo Dunius, a bit of a local matchup. For some reason, I believe there was some sort of controversy. I don't know the whole story. So anyway, I'm skipping ahead. Kai gets knocked down in the first round, a flash knockdown within the first 15 or 20 seconds. To be honest, I'd have to watch it back to see how he got caught. I can't really remember. Kai was straight back up, and I thought won the rest of the round. Look, is it a 10-8 round, or because Kai sort of won the rest of it, do you go 10-9? That's a question for a judge. I'm not sure. Either way, Kai lost that round. I thought he won every other round after that. Am I biased? Absolutely, but look, I can only give you my thoughts and my opinions of what I thought happened. But the reason I just had to race through the recap of the fight, and we'll get back to the fight, is apparently someone from Theo Dunias's team just like lost his mind backstage and was going berserk. Maybe you guys have seen some of the clips on social media, and he must have been outraged because he thought they did enough to win, or felt like there was some sort of unfair or unjust officiating or refereeing or something going on in that fight. I don't know the whole backstory, as I said, but yeah, to my eye, I thought it was a very clear win for Kai Hodgson. And man, if you guys haven't, and Kai is only early in his pro career, but if you guys haven't seen Kai before, man, this guy commits to his shots like few guys at that level of experience do. Like a lot of times guys come out of the amateurs and they really have to learn, and it takes them a while to, plant their feet, calm down, sit on their punches. We always hear these type of terms. Man, Kai's taken to the pros like a duck to water. He sits down, he's aggressive, he does not die wandering. It's super fan-friendly style. He switches stances. There's a lot of craft to his work too. He's had a frustrating time with injuries and layoffs and stuff like that. So, massive congratulations to Kai, who, again, I thought won a pretty clear, unanimous decision. Honestly, you got to give Dunias the first round. Maybe there was another round or two after that, but from where I was sitting, it was a pretty dominant performance for the Hitman. So, massive congratulations to Kai, and hoping for his sake he can get a nice, consistent year going in 2026, because he deserves one, and it's going to be fun as hell for guys like me and guys like anyone else out there who's watching or listening right now to watch, because, Kai's a fan-friendly guy, and can't wait to see what he can do for the rest of the year. And also, in the main event, guys, Johnny Mannu picked up a 10-round unanimous decision over... Geez, I thought Oliver Z was hard. Let me try this. Van Lala Wampuia. Van Lala Wampu. I don't know, some guy, with respect. I can't say what his name was, but look, this was a very workmanlike performance for Johnny Mannu, who's bounced back unbelievably well since his loss over in America to Kurt Scobie, where he kind of got blasted out real quick in the first round. But most people will know Johnny Mannu from that great performance he had against Jalen Tate. He's been back on the sort of local domestic scene since then. I'm assuming for lack of opportunity, which is a shame. I'd love to see Johnny Mannu in a big fight. He deserves one. 17-1-1 now, Johnny. He's clearly separated himself in his weight division domestically, so hopefully those big fights can be made for him coming up later in the year. Now, I did mention that it was a workmanlike unanimous decision performance from John Mannu, and shout out to Mike Altamura and Mark Castagnetti on commentary, who very early in the piece let us know as viewers that John was coming into this fight with a damaged left hand of sorts. So John Mannu had to go through the motions at Southpaw, did it with the jab, basically. Still threw the left hand. The guy's tough as hell and fearless. But, yeah, I would imagine, with respect to his opponent, that if Johnny had two good paws and wasn't fighting through a fair bit of damage coming into the fight, I reckon he would have got the stoppage and another impressive performance. But the fact that his hand was damaged and he still got through relatively unscathed with a really game guy was still super impressive to me as well. So, shout out to Johnny Mannu, shout out to Kai Hodgson, shout out to Detonation Boxing. Excellent, really fun local show. Loved it. Will not hesitate to watch again if there is a fight or a fight card up available on the stream. So, yeah, congratulations to the whole team at Detonation. So, guys, couple of quick little news notes. Today is the 24th of March. It is Tuesday, and coming out a number of hours ago from time of recording, we it sucks. Got confirmation that the IBF has officially stripped Jai Opetaia. So Jai Opetaia is no longer the IBF Cruiserweight champion. And I also did get something sent to me too, that potentially he may even be stripped of his Ring Magazine title, which apparently in their rules, there is a rule that you have to fight someone within the top 5 in your last 5 fights, or they can strip you. And as we know, Jai hasn't. Whether or not they'll stick to that with the whole Turkey-Zuffa ring partnership, maybe they'll let that one slide. I'm not sure. But unfortunately for Jai and Tasman, the IBF weren't willing to let it slide. They said they were going to strip him. and they've done it today. I thought the fact that it didn't happen immediately, at least publicly, I thought that was a good sign for Jai. I don't know anything that happened, phone call, email style in the aftermath of the fight between the teams and the sanctioning body, whether they were negotiating or trying to come to a deal for Jai to keep the title, or hopefully they bloody gave him a refund of his sanctioning fees, reportedly about 80 grand. If you're going to strip the bloke, give him his money back. That's the main thing I'd be worrying about. So yeah, hopefully he got his money. But yeah, the IBF have stuck to their guns, and they said they were going to strip him if he took that fight. And they have, unfortunately. So it was, yeah, it sucks, man. I don't believe in kicking people while they're down, and especially I'm a fan of Jai. I'm a fan of the whole team at Tasman. I'm a fan of all of them. We thought we knew what was going to happen with the way Zuffa's stance and approach has been to the sanctioning bodies. Jai and Tasman alluded that there was some other deal, or that maybe wasn't what we thought wasn't true, and that they were going to be able to keep the title and look forward to unifications and that type of thing. Maybe that's still the case. Maybe they've just happened to take a longer road to get there, and I don't know. It's weird. From the outside looking in, it just absolutely sucks. I'm bummed for Jai. It's like, I saw it popped up on my phone. Someone sent it to me when I was getting out of the car for work this morning. And if there's any Arrested Development fans out there, I think it's a meme too. When George Michael Bluth gets real sad and he walks real slow and he drops his bag and he just falls on the floor face first. Man, that's how I got out of the car walking into the first job this morning. I was so bummed out. It's like, damn it. That's me. That's us fans. That's how bummed we are. Imagine how Jai feels. Imagine how Tasman feel, like a life's work just taken away. Puts him, for now, hopefully there's a silver lining, but for now, for us looking at what's happened in the last few hours, it seems like he's further away from his goal of being undisputed than he's ever been. And he doesn't deserve to be. It just sucks. It's just such a bummer, man. So hopefully that situation can work itself out, but I'm sure more information will be more readily available in the coming days and weeks, I guess. I'm sure something will come out, but as for now, it's a real bummer. But something that isn't a bummer, Andrew Moloney has reportedly signed his contract for a fight with Wilbaldo Garcia for the IBF super flyweight title. So one of the good guys, Andrew Moloney, seemingly getting maybe his last shot at a world title. Who knows? Going by age at that weight class, and opportunities given, it would seem to be, maybe if not the very last opportunity for a world title, maybe one of. I'm a huge Moloney fan, so I'm wrapped personally for Andrew. I'm glad that some nice guys don't finish last, and isn't it good to see? Because Andrew Moloney could have taken the money and let Bam get that fight for the unification, and he said no. And reportedly, who knows if it's true, if what we read is true, but reportedly the fight is for not a lot of money. Andrew's reported purse is very low, but, Andrew seems to me like a principle over profit type of guy, and, he wants to achieve his dreams. And I just think that makes the decision for him to not take that step-aside money from Matchroom to allow Bam to take the fight just even more respectful. The guy wants to be a world champion, and he wants to prove it in the ring, and there's nothing that's going to stop him, not even money, What a role model. That's fantastic. So in terms of the fight date coming up, guys, I have heard nothing. I'm not sure. If anyone knows, let me know. But yeah, we had some horrible news with Jai today, which absolutely sucks, but some really good news for Andrew Moloney. Not that it evens out. We want all positive news for our fighters all of the time, but that's life, and that's boxing, unfortunately. But congratulations to Andrew, and I know we know he's going to be putting in 150,000% during this training camp. Absolutely. He's going to give himself the best opportunity to win that fight. I'm not going to get into the fight yet. We'll wait until the date gets released, but yeah, we'll definitely be talking about it on the pod, that's for sure. So, guys, the fight coming up this weekend, Keith Thurman's back. It's Sebastian Fundora, Keith Thurman. Can you believe it? Unreal. Sorry, guys, just have a little drink there. Yeah, wow. The shocking thing is that Keith Thurman's highlights aren't in black and white. When's the last time he fought? Oh, sorry. We know he fought in Australia. Against Brock Jarvis. That's right. I forgot. I actually forgot about that fight. I apologize, Brock Jarvis. in the moment, I forgot about that fight. That's right. So, well, Keith's coming in like ready to go. Well, when was that fight? I can't even remember. Hang on. Let me click it. It was like middle of last year, was it? Brock Jarvis. Oh, it was just in December. Is that right? Was it March? No, it was March last year. Sorry. The BoxRec, they do the American dates. Why would you go month, day, year? That makes no day, month, year. The American dates are so weird. Yeah, March last year. Okay. So he's only been out of the ring 12 months. Oh, for Keith Thurman, that's back to back. That's fresh as a daisy. It's his optimum fight schedule once a year. Hell yeah. Yeah, guys, Sebastian Fundora, Keith Thurman. I have no idea what to expect. I'm expecting Fundora to be too much for him, but what does Keith have left? I really have no analysis of this fight. I'm certainly looking forward to watching it. But interestingly, there's a couple of good fights on the undercard, guys. So Yoenis Tellers is back against Brian Mendoza. I don't know if that's the co-feature. It's listed as the co-feature on BoxRec, but as we know, the order always gets skewed around. But yeah, that's a fantastic fight at junior middleweight. I'm pumped to watch. At middleweight, we've got another Cuban sort of phenom gathering some steam. Yoenli Hernandez is fighting Terrell Gorchet. We all know Terrell Gorchet, tough as hell. He's coming off a couple of losses, Terrell, but if anyone can make Hernandez work, it's going to be Terrell Gorchet. Elijah Garcia is back against Kevin Newman II, and there was I think there was another fight on there. I can't remember at the moment, but how we watch that in Australia, guys, I'm not even sure. It's a PBC Amazon Prime pay-per-view in America. So I would imagine if it's a pay-per-view in America, there's absolutely no chance in hell it's not going to be a pay-per-view here. So I would imagine it's either going to be on Prime for us or more likely Fox and KO pay-per-view. But I should have looked that up. But yeah, whatever. There'll be a way to watch it. But yeah, no, it should be a fun card. I'm looking forward to that. That'll be really good. But all right, guys, a bit of a rambling hit out today, but we had to hit on a couple of those topics for sure. So, yeah, what's that? Oh, Builder's text me. What does he want? No, all good. Didn't stuff anything up this time. But yeah, all right, guys. So that'll do us. I'll be back in April. Obviously, we've got the Tim Tszyu comeback card on Easter Sunday, isn't it? That's right. So yeah, I'll be looking to go the week after that with a guest. So yeah, somewhere in that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, a couple of days after the fight, we'll get in and jump into that card and obviously talk about everything else that's happened. So yeah, as I mentioned, guys, solo edition of the pod purely in March. I'm trying to get people. I'm trying. It's tough. You know what? You know how you see a lot of podcasts start like the way I do it, and they reach out to different people, and then eventually they lock in with a certain particular co-host, and they don't do guests anymore. Have you noticed like a lot of shows do that? Yeah, I definitely know why they do that. I'm not saying I'm going to do that. I still like the variety in talking to people, but sometimes it's just tough to get people on, Get a lot of people saying just flat out no, but a lot of times it's scheduling. Yeah, and sometimes you just can't make it happen. But anyway, whatever, who cares? That's my problem. I've got a good 2 weeks or 10 days or whatever to make the next one happen, and I'll be doing my best. So, guys, thanks for watching. Enjoy the fights, and I'll speak to you later.
Road less travel may add up to change. Living like there's no tomorrow, then tomorrow came. I was living like there's no tomorrow, then tomorrow came. I got the wake up call, laughing through the window frame.